Okay, class. पहला example बहुत ही easy example. Let us have a look. We have to prepare balance sheet. Okay, so given below trial balance of Dayal Brothers as on 31st March 2017. So these are the particulars: debit balance, credit balance in these accounts. And what are we required to do? We are required to prepare balance sheet as on 31st March 2017. Okay, so books of Dayal Brothers, balance sheet as on 31st March 2017. We'll write liabilities this side, amount, asset this side, and amount. Okay, fine. Let's get started then. So the first thing here is capital. Capital is 7 lakh in credit. Anything else that affects capital? Let us have a look. Land and building. So this goes towards capital. Land and building will go towards asset. 14% term loan. Loan will go towards liability. Loan from D and Co towards liability. Trade receivable is an asset. Cash in hand is an asset. Inventories in trade is an asset. Furniture is an asset. Trade payables is a liability. Advance paid to suppliers is an asset. Net profit, capital it will go to. Drawings, capital account, right? So that's it. The identification is important. Now capital, we know that capital account, net profit will be added to the capital account and drawings will be taken away, subtracted from the capital account. So 7 lakh rupees. So let us just write capital account now. So 7 lakh rupees, net profit 1 lakh rupees, 8 lakh rupees, drawings 60,000. So 8 lakh rupees minus 60,000, that is 7 lakh 40,000 rupees. So we are going to be writing in capital 7 lakh 40,000 rupees. So capital account is done. Liabilities. So let us follow the same order. We will write long-term liabilities, 14% term loan. Okay, one is this liability, other is this liability, and third liability is trade payables. So we'll write in the same order because trade payables is the only which is here current liability. Loan from D and Co, it may be short-term liability, it may be current liability, it may be long-term liability depending on when we have to pay back the loan. So no problem. 14% term loan and loan from D and Co and trade payable. So these are the only three liabilities. Term loan is 4 lakh rupees and D and Co is 4 lakh 60 and trade payable is 40,000. ये सिंपल है, इसमें क्या है? तो कैपिटल और लायबिलिटी हमने एक ऑर्डर के साथ लिख लिया. सिमिलरली एसेट्स में जो ऑर्डर रहेगा परमानेंस के बेसिस पे रहेगा. तो सबसे पहले जो एसेट आएगा लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग आ जाएगा. सो लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग, हाउ मच? 3 lakhs. Fine. So this has been taken care of. After that comes trade receivables, not now. Cash in hand, not now. Inventories in trade, not now. These are all current assets. Furniture? Yes, furniture. Okay, so after that we will write furniture. Because these are long-term assets. So furniture is how much? Boss, 2 lakhs. Furniture is 2 lakhs. Okay, so land and building is 3 lakhs. I am surprised. What asset is available today at 3 lakhs? What land is available? What building is available at 3 lakhs? Furniture, when furniture itself is 2 lakhs. Little funny example, but that's okay. So land and building and furniture is now done. Okay, so now time to take care of current assets. So let's take inventories in trade, cash in hand. We will write absolutely at the end, and advance to suppliers, trade receivables, and inventories in trade. So inventories in trade we'll write now, because this one is little less liquid than all the others. So inventories in trade is 6 lakh rupees, and after that we have to decide between trade receivable, cash in hand, advance to suppliers. So advance in suppliers, advance to suppliers, trade receivables, cash in hand. Okay, so advance to suppliers, how much is that? 1 lakhs. Okay, so let's write 1 lakhs. Trade receivables 4 lakh 20. Okay, and cash in hand 20,000. Okay, so all taken care of from the trial balance. Great stuff. Okay, so now time for us to add both sides, liability plus capital on this side and assets, all the assets on this side. So look at this one. So we have 5 lakhs, then we have 11 lakhs total, 12 lakhs, and then we 16 lakh 20, 16 lakh 40. So this side it's easy to calculate. It is 16 lakh 40,000. This side, let us have a look. Okay, so it is 40 plus 60 plus 40. So we are starting well. So we have a 40,000 here, but from there 1 will go this side. So 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 60. Awesome. So 16 lakh 40,000 on capital plus liability, 16 lakh 40,000 on the asset side. Awesome. That's it. As easy as it can be, class. इतना easy है ये बैलेंस शीट बनाना. तो इसमें की क्या है? की ये है आपका कि आप कैपिटल अकाउंट समझ पा रहे हैं क्या, लायबिलिटी अकाउंट समझ पा रहे हैं क्या, एसेट्स समझ पा रहे हैं क्या, और ऑर्डर में अगर लिखना है तो आप समझ पा रहे हैं क्या, करंट लायबिलिटी क्या है, लॉन्ग टर्म लायबिलिटी क्या है, करंट एसेट्स क्या है, लॉन्ग टर्म एसेट्स क्या है. ओके, I hope you like this example. Let's do one more. Another example, class. This one is not so easy, but very average challenge, average difficulty wala problem. Okay, it's not very difficult also. So for the first time we will use some concepts that we have learned other than classifying the items in terms of capital or in terms of liabilities or assets. तो अभी तक तो लास्ट एग्जांपल क्या था, सर क्लासिफाई करने से काम हो गया था हमारा. इस बार थोड़ा सा और आगे जाना पड़ेगा. क्लासिफाई करने के अलावा कुछ और दिमाग लगाना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा और. we'll have to put some thought into it. So the balance of Thaparji on 1st January 2017 was as follows. So the beginning of the year balance sheet was like this. Trade payable was 15 lakhs, expenses payable was 1 lakh 50, capital was 50 lakhs, plant and machinery 30 lakhs, furniture and fixture 3 lakhs, trade receivables 14, cash at bank 6.5, inventories 13 lakhs. This was the situation. Okay, and during 2017 his profit and loss account revealed a net profit of 15 lakh 30,000. This was after allowing for the following. Okay, what was allowed? Interest on capital at 6% per annum. Okay, so interest on capital, this is interesting basically, correct? Interest on capital. So capital, how much was the capital? 50 lakh rupees, and interest was paid 6%. So you can imagine that 3 lakh rupees was paid as interest. Okay, and where will it be paid? It will be paid into the capital account only. So until now we thought that in capital account we have to add net profit, we have to subtract drawings, but another item here is the interest on capital. So we'll have to add interest on capital. Fine. So good. Depreciation on plant and machinery at 10% and on furniture at fixtures at 5%. Fine. So depreciation was, this is the adjustment entry, no? So plant and machinery was at 30 lakh rupees, and after depreciation, 10% depreciation, 10% is 3 lakh rupees of 30 lakh, 3 lakh rupees 10%. So now the new value in the at the end of the year of the plant and machinery is expected to be 27 lakhs. And similarly, furniture and fixture 3 lakh rupees, 10% is 30,000, 5% is 15,000. So new value expected is 2 lakh 85,000. Fine. So see how this is affecting the balance sheet. A provision for doubtful debts at 5% of the trade receivable as on 31st December 2017. So provision for doubtful debts is not separately entered in balance sheet. Trade receivable only is adjusted. So what is the trade receivable? We don't know as so far. So we can go quickly and find out if we have any trade receivable. So his current assets and liabilities are trade receivable here. Trade receivable is 20 lakh rupees. So 20 lakh rupees mein 5% we will have to subtract as provision for doubtful debts. We know that. So 20 lakh rupees 5% is 1 lakh. So total effective provision, total effective trade receivable that will go into the balance sheet at the end of this year is 19 lakhs only, not 20 lakhs. That is what it means. After that, there is something, let us read. But while preparing the profit and loss account, he had forgotten. So profit and loss account is not final. There is some problem. What is the problem? Outstanding expenses totaling 1,80,000. He forgot to account for outstanding expenses 1,80,000. So outstanding expenses 1,80,000 he forgot. Oh, then 1,80,000 was supposed to be expense. वो expense था लेकिन उन्होंने लिया नहीं है, इसी कारण से प्रॉफिट ज्यादा दिख रहा है 1530. ओके, सो एक काम करते हैं, P&L अकाउंट को एक बार रिवाइज्ड P&L अकाउंट बनाते हैं. ठीक है, फॉर ईयर एंडिंग 31/12/2017. ओके, फाइन. ये कैसे बना सकते हैं रिवाइज, जरा देखें भाई क्या लिखना है यहाँ पे. ओके, तो अभी के लिए तो ये रहा पर्टिकुलर्स, ये रहा अमाउंट, ये रहा पर्टिकुलर्स, ये रहा अमाउंट. अभी के लिए आप कर दीजिए कि बाय बैलेंस ब्रॉट डाउन. कितना जितना नेट प्रॉफिट था 15,30,000. अब एक्स्ट्रा जो है आपने देखा ही, इसमें एक्स्ट्रा एक्सपेंस आ गया. कितना एक्स्ट्रा एक्सपेंस आ गया भाई? आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंसेस. ओके, आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंसेस हम क्या करते हैं? डेफिनेटली वी add on the P&L account on the debit side, correct? Fine. So we will say two outstanding expenses. Okay, two outstanding expenses कितना भाई? How much? Two outstanding expenses 1,80,000. So two outstanding expenses 1,80,000. Fine. So this is what guy forgot. So now we have to see. So effectively at the end of this, what is the net profit? Net profit is 15,30,000 minus 1,80,000. As simple as that. Okay, but it is not yet over. Second thing is a prepaid insurance to the extent of 20,000. Okay, so expenses, I'm assuming, and we are assuming, we have to assume here that expenses all has been taken care of. Okay, but by mistake this 20,000 rupees has been taken as expense. It is not an expense, it is a prepaid expense. It's a prepaid insurance. Okay, so if something is prepaid, will we take that into profit and loss account? No, we will not take that into profit and loss account, because this is going to go in the balance sheet and this is going to remain in the account the next year. Correct? Because the goods or services we will receive next year corresponding to this expense. So we cannot take this in the P&L this year. So prepaid insurance to the extent of 20,000 rupees. So here we will have to credit the P&L account with 20,000 rupees. Now if you see what is the net profit, so revised net profit now we will get. Okay, which will be the balance between credit side and debit side. So this side is how much? This side is 15 lakh 50,000. This side is how much? 1 lakh 80,000. So we will subtract 1 lakh 80,000 from 15 lakh 50,000. So 15 lakh 50 minus 2 lakh 13 lakh 50 plus 20,000. So if you subtract this, you are going to get 13 lakh 70,000. Okay, 13 lakh 70,000. So that the net profit is 13 lakh 70,000, as simple as that. So this is what we have to take in the balance sheet. When we talk about capital, we will take 13 lakh 70,000. So this one is taken care of now. अब current assets and liabilities में inventories assets होगा, trade receivables assets. We know that it is not 220 lakh now, it is only 19 lakhs. Cash at bank assets, trade payables liability. Okay. Fine. All right. So now let us identify. Let us have balance sheet. Balance sheet as on 31/12/2017. Okay. Or we will write liabilities amount, assets amount. Now we talk about capital. Okay. Fine. So what is the total capital? So what do? We say that first, listen, whatever was the old capital, it was 50 lakh rupees. In that, please add the net profit. So 50 lakh rupees, the net profit, net profit we have to add 13 lakh 70,000 rupees, please add. And then finally you see during the year he withdrew 6 lakh for his domestic use. So this has to be subtracted. And not just that, we know for sure that he received interest in his capital account. How much? 3 lakhs. So that needs to be added. So total now capital this year, how much will it be? Okay. So we can, do this workings here itself in order to show clarity, or we can do separately in the graph now. So ultimately at the end of this is last year, it looks so clean. So next year also it should look so clean. Okay. So we can directly write what is the capital. Alright, so what is the capital? So 50 lakhs plus 1370 plus 3 minus 6. So overall, if you see, we can quickly do it. This one is 6370 and minus 3 it has to be basically. So 6070. As simple as that? Yes, as simple as that. So capital will be 60 lakh 70,000. And we should know that we have to add net profit, we have to subtract drawings, we have to add capital, interest on capital. That's it. We know that. That's not an issue. उतना तो पता ही है हमें. तो कैपिटल हो गया अभी. अब लायबिलिटी की तरफ जाते हैं. तो लायबिलिटी की तरफ में और क्या दिख रहा है आपको? देखिए जरा. लायबिलिटी में और क्या है? लायबिलिटी में एक चीज तो अगर ऊपर से जाए तो पहली बात तो है कि ये यहाँ पे जो मिस हो गया था, ये आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंसेस, ये जो है हमें लेना पड़ेगा अभी, बिकॉज ये एक्सपेंसेस आउटस्टैंडिंग है, ये एक लायबिलिटी है. तो ठीक है भाई, चलिए ले लेते हैं आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंसेस. कितना भी? 1,80,000. ओके. तो यहां से एक ले लिया. प्रीपेड इंश्योरेंस क्या है? तो एसेट है, तो चलिए जाए. उसके बाद लायबिलिटीज है क्या? हाँ, ट्रेड पेएबल एक लायबिलिटी है, और कुछ लायबिलिटी नहीं है. ट्रेड पेएबल कितना है भाई? 1140. तो 1140 ये हो गया. तो इधर लायबिलिटी में कैपिटल, आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंसेस, ट्रेड पेएबल इज डन. एसेट्स में देखते हैं. सो एसेट में you see, first of all there was a depreciation, right, on plant and machinery. So let us just write that. Okay. So plant and machinery. So total you can write here, and then you say that less provision for depreciation. So overall amount will be 27 lakhs that we have already calculated. How about furniture and fixture? 2,85,000 we have already calculated. Fine. So plant and machinery, furniture and fixture is done. Okay, what next? So these two are taken care of, and this has been taken care of course. Then we come to this place, outstanding expenses or the prepaid insurance. So prepaid insurance is one current asset. So prepaid insurance we can include. Okay, so one is prepaid insurance and other is inventories, and then last we will write cash at bank, right? Yes, cash at bank we will write in the end. So let us write in the end cash at bank. Cash at bank is taken care of, 10,35,000. Okay, so this one is taken care of. Now we have something called trade receivable, we have something called inventories, and we have something called prepaid insurance. Okay, so how about inventories? Let's find out how about inventories. Here is inventories. So inventories is 1450. Alright, so let's write now. These are all current assets. So inventories is not touched at all, 1450. Inventories taken care of. Trade receivables. Trade receivables, we will apply the provision for bad debts. After applying, we are going to get 19 lakhs. So that we write here, no problem. So that also taken care of, and inventory is taken care of, cash at bank taken care of. So everything payable is taken care of. Everything has been taken care of. Only thing that is pending here is a prepaid insurance, which is an asset. So we'll say prepaid insurance. How much is that? 20,000. Okay. Fine. So now time to add class. I think we have taken care of everything. Okay. So this side we will add. So 60 lakh, 70,000, 1 lakh, 80,000. So looks like this one is 6250. 6250 plus 1140. So 6250 plus 11 is 7350 plus 40, 7390. So this side we have 73,90,000. This side, sir? So all 00000, yes. So at least this matches. Whether it is 90 or not, I don't know. So let us have a quick look actually. So we have 85 here, we have 50 here, we have 20 here, we have 35 here. Now good news is that 85 plus 35 is going to give us 120, and 120 plus 70 is going to give us 190. So we actually have 90. Wow. Then we are left with 1 here. So 28 plus 2, 30 plus 14, 44, 44 plus 19, 63 plus 10, 73. Wow. Awesome. It matches. So we have done it correctly. So here is the balance sheet class, and here is your P&L account. Awesome, isn't it? So what did we learn? We learned quite a bit. Oh yes, we learned how to calculate depreciation, apply. We learned how to treat the interest on capital. We learned how to treat provision for doubtful debts. We also learned that outstanding expenses has to be added to the debit side of the P&L account, and any prepaid expense has to be added to the credit side of the P&L account. Prepaid has to be taken to the balance sheet. Outstanding has to be taken to the balance sheet. We did that. That also we learned. And then we know how to classify assets and liabilities. And we knew that, whatever was the provision for doubtful debts, it has to be adjusted with the trade receivable. Plant and machinery and furniture fixture, that we knew that depreciation has to be adjusted directly. Okay, great. This is a good example. I would like you to star this example. If you have the institute's material, please take this example and star it, so that when you solve this, when you revise this chapter later on, you need to solve it fresh. Okay, quickly. I mean, you don't have to make all the diagrams and all, but quickly calculate all the figures and feel happy that you know how to calculate revised net profit, you know how to calculate, prepare the balance sheet, and everything should match in the end. ठीक है, समझ गए आप? ये अच्छा प्रॉब्लम है, इसको आप स्टार्ट कर लीजिए और रिवीजन के लिए जब लास्ट में रिवीजन कर रहे हो इसको एक बार देख लीजिए तो क्लियर हो जाएगा। कुछ कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट इसमें यूज हुए हैं तो समझ में आ जाएगा कि हाँ याद आ जाएगा, ऐसा 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 ही हुआ था, ऐसे ही करना है। ठीक है, ओके क्लास। इसके बाद आई वुड लाइक टू डिस्कस समथिंग कॉल्ड ओपनिंग एंट्री, बिकॉज ओपनिंग एंट्री और बैलेंस शीट का बड़ा गहरा रिश्ता है। दे हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग रिलेशनशिप। ओपनिंग एंट्री, there's a strong relationship between opening entries and balance sheet. Okay, let's see.